to speak about the meeting of Prime Ministers in Vilnius. We're delighted to welcome Mr. Marius Matijośaitis, a Lithuanian Member of Parliament. Welcome, sir, to TVP World, and thank you for taking the time.
Good morning. It's a pleasure.
Good morning. Now, we've been listening to some speeches by the leaders in Vilnius, and there are some things which are very, very obvious. The first is they seem to be taking the lead in the response to Russia's aggression that the European Union and NATO should demonstrate. They're punching way above their weight. Can you tell us what's behind that, sir?
It was very well pointed. So there has been a few questions shared among the prime ministers of Baltic states, and obviously at the core is the security situation in the region, because Baltic states recognize the urgency of the threat that Russia is giving, well, to the region. And the countries of the eastern flank, we have our defense budgets almost 3% already, as Lithuania and Estonia, Poland with 4%. So that's a good example. But we are also trying to push 0.25% of countries' GDP, of NATO countries' GDP, to be appointed to Ukraine apart from the defense budget. So Lithuania is already heading towards that. And if we assign at least 0.25 of our GDP each and every state among 32 member states of NATO, it will greatly increase the chances for Ukraine to defend itself. And also the question, how do we define Ukraine's victory? And obviously that's supposed to be on Ukrainian terms. And I don't deny that they have been I was not participating, but I believe, as we also discuss about it in the parliament, that what kind of possibilities we have to push the agenda to invite Ukraine to NATO and start negotiation process. Well, knowing that NATO summit in Washington will be the anniversary, sort of a birthday party, but still we need to push our agenda forward to increase the security. So I believe this topic is the most difficult, and it is, yes, punching above our weight, but I don't believe we have enough time to waste time.
And seeing that also, now we do observe that the Baltic states are quite united now, especially now being in the eastern flank of NATO. But during the meeting, do you foresee any perhaps possible points of contention, or let's say different perspective or different agenda now between these three countries?
I wouldn't say not much. Maybe the Estonian Prime Minister highlighted one topic which is also very important, is about using all the frozen Russian assets to arm and rebuild Ukraine, because at the moment there's still illegal obstacles to do so. And we need to fix this problem, because at the moment we are using only our citizens' taxpayers' money. We are rebuilding kindergarten, schools, and other objects, civilian objects, and there's around 2 to 300 billion euros in the European Union states of Russian frozen assets. So we need to unfroze them, use them. So this was a priority that the Estonian Prime Minister said, but this is also the priority of Lithuania, and we, in all different platforms and levels, we talk about that. And again, Lithuania is a bit forward when it comes to infrastructure projects. So from the Lithuanian side, we also highlight the urgency of Rail Baltica, of Via Baltica, disconnecting from Brel. And so hopefully we disconnect from Brel in the beginning of next year, and the construction of Rail Baltica has already started. It will speed up in the end of this year, and other Baltic states need to catch up, need to speed up their processes, because it will increase our military mobility, and it will not be only good for transport, for economy, but also for this vertical transport line that will connect to Poland as well, and the rest of Central Eastern Europe.
Yes, certainly. I mean, a lot of work, as you say, is being done on connectivity between the Baltic states and states around it, which is, of course, essential in terms of a unified response. Now, let me ask you about the domestic situation. With such large proportions of the populations, certainly in Estonia and Latvia, being Russian speakers or ethnically Russian, how much support are you getting from that part of the population for the political attitude the prime ministers are displaying?
I would be honest answering it that Russian minority especially, but some parts of Polish minority in Lithuania, but I will speak about the Russian minority mostly. They're more vulnerable to propaganda. Usually, at least in Lithuania, they live closer to a Belarus border, so even that we block Russian propaganda television, they still manage to use VPNs and other means to connect to Russian propaganda television, Russian Today or others, other channels. And obviously, there's other sentiments. Maybe it goes to psychology as well. So they don't support such an ambitious security policy or foreign policy that the prime ministers of those we see on the screen that they are presenting. However, there's different attitudes for different individuals, and Estonia and Latvia, however, they have a much bigger Russian minority comparing to Lithuania. And we just had our presidential election, so one, let's say, pro-Russian candidate received 7%. So it's a lot. We didn't believe that in Lithuania it could happen, but 7% of the population would see a need to go into negotiations, to trade with Russia more. And, well, that's a reality. We still need to tackle disinformation, and we still need to fight propaganda. And, democracy we need to fight for democracy each and every day. It's not proven.
Well, it's a mammoth task that lies ahead, but certainly now Baltic states are ready for this task. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us and providing your insights.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.